Alright boys, welcome back as we hop on into the second best of three of the day, and it is of course going to be that upper bracket final between Lazarus and Ghost. It's going to be an interesting one for sure. Two solid teams, and I'm excited to see what way this one is going to go, as already the action actually going to kick off. A flash towards second mid allows for Zelsis to take a little bit of a peek, tries to pin a couple of players into that corner, and in the meantime does actually of course do some pretty decent damage onto both Neptune and Freakazide. So a decent start. Inferno, he's the one with the defuse kit in this pistol round for Lazarus. He dropped over, I believe. Did he drop over a pistol? No, I actually don't think so. I think Sabrosa's just on the P2000. And indeed he is. So let's see. Bit of utility still in play for the T side. A smoke and the Molotov for Steel, of course. And they are going to be actually just grouping up over in the apartments right now, looking to try and bring this towards mid, at least get a little bit of control. It's two players right now. And Lazarus, it seems like they have a bit of a read. They have stacked up this A-bomb site, 4 in position currently. As we do see the smoke now being prepared by Steel. Tossed over towards that long corner, of course, towards Moto, I believe it is. Are they going to commit to A or potentially wrap around in true B, which I feel like certainly would be the better idea right now, and it looks like that's the case. Right in true arch with these Glocks, going to be looking to try and get up close, split on towards that B-bomb site, and as we can see, Dapper, he's in a tough position. He's going to have to try and hold this one down all on his own. He gets the first frag, but is quickly returned on by Kusta. So with that now the bomb site being found for Ghost, the bomb should go down. And it is going to come up to the retake most likely, but a very quick push actually coming down through mid. All 4 CTs right now making their way up in through Banana. Finding a quick headshot onto Kusta and not going to be letting off the gas anytime soon. Continuing to just go forward. They want to make this a quick retake. They don't want to give the T's any time to set up. Zeldas gets a quick headshot. Freakazide gets 2, but he's pinned in the corner as second oranges, so that's all he's allowed. Plenty of time for that defuse to come true. Swag should be able to go ahead and find the kit as well to carry into the next round. And that is the case. Lazarus go ahead and pick up that opening pistol. Apologies, guys, of course, for taking a little while for us to hop into the game. We did have to wait for all the players to hop on the server and ready up. Looks like Ghost are going to be going for a bit of a force buy. They keep money onto Wardell so that he can get the up out into that first gun round. Neptune also keeps a lot of money in the reserve. Steel was the one, I believe, that dropped the AK over to Kusta for a deagle in return. So it's only those 2 players that actually have invested. Kusta actually getting a full set of utility as well behind that AK. So, I mean, it's decent for Ghost. There's certainly an opportunity that AK could also catch someone off guard. Lazarus have gone for an SMG heavy buy with a couple of MP9s and a couple of UMPs. That allows for them, of course, to get a bit more utility, which I do like to see. Greetings from Australia. How many games are being played today? This is the second of 3 best of 3s. So this one only starting right now, and then we'll have another best of 3 afterwards as well. So don't worry, guys. If you're only joining in, there's plenty of CS to go. And this is indeed a best of 3, as I see in Mark Steele asking. But yeah, slow round right now. It's been slowed down. Ghost, they have control towards Banana. They have a bit of control in on mid as well. It's a pretty passive setup coming through from Lazarus. Knowing that they have the advantage in terms of the weaponry, of course. I still believe that they don't really know that there's an AK in play, though. So Kusta certainly could catch them off guard. He actually performed amazingly for Ghost in yesterday's matchup. So it'll be interesting to see if he can continue on with that form or not. Opening kill, though, eventually coming in favor of Lazarus. It's over towards that spawn. And Molotov dropped on B to try and slow down the push a little bit. Won't be too successful. Smoke goes down towards CT, but of course the boost from Infinite. It could be very, very dangerous for Ghost, and indeed it is. Wardell goes down. The bomb will be planted now, but 5-on-3 in play. It should be the round win still going in favor of Lazarus, unless Kusta can step it up and pull this one back over to give them a bit of hope. He does have that AK still around full HP. Gets tagged up slightly now. Freakazide trying to take the attention as he's in the spawn. Does have Kevlar, but ends up going down, and Kusta's only allowed 1 more before the trade comes in. So that will be Lazarus going ahead and taking themselves a second round, an AK to be picked up as well, of course. Nice little upgrade being found for Dapper. And that's going to be Ghost Gaming now likely taking an eco in this next round. Although, I mean, if they wanted, they could buy. They can actually buy on 4 people. Steel's the only one who can't get the full investment. Even then, he can go for a weaker weapon. So yeah, they're probably going to buy. They do go for it. The op even coming out onto Wardell, of course. And of course, one thing we can quickly do is discuss the veto a little bit. We'll do that as soon as we have a little bit of downtime. As of course, with the full investment coming through from both sides, this round is certainly going to be a close one. Lazarus taking a bit of damage in that previous round. Of course, if they end up losing this one, would be looking at an eco. So this is an opportunity for Ghost to really get themselves in this one early on. But the nade and the MP9 from Infinite combine. It's true, the smoke towards the bottom of Banana. Wardell goes down early on. Kusta, of course, a very capable upper, will pick that big green gun up. Apologies. But still a man disadvantage, not how they would have been looking to have actually start off this gun round. Whoever asked called the ATK 2-1. Yep, that is the case, as Cosmo said. For anyone who wasn't here during the previous series. Of course, with that ATK, unfortunately, are eliminated from the qualifier. And on the other hand, Complexity, I believe, going into that lower bracket finals where they will play the loser of this matchup. So that would be an interesting one. Who's going to be the one heading into the grand finals, though? That's the question. Who gets the victory here and gets themselves a little bit of an easier route to the final matchup? Ghost haven't found at least a bit of mid-control right now to work with is a positive, but they're beginning to run somewhat low on time. They also have control towards Banana, so they have options about where they want to take this. The question is, where are they going to bring it? The bomb towards the bottom of Banana. B, probably the better decision right now as well, considering it is a bit of an A-stack coming through. And as you see them group up and look to commit on towards B, they will probably move on really quickly because they actually heard the footsteps of Zeltz. You can see the second they heard him coming in through the CT spawn, they wanted to commit before he could actually set up in position. But unfortunately, they went a little bit too quickly. The smoke not blooming in time, Steel goes down. And now it's a 5-on-3. That bomb needs to be planted. It will, as there's just about enough time, of course, a couple seconds spare. Can they manage to actually pull this one back in their favor? Neptune gets one to give them a chance. Kusta gets the collateral. Dapper and Swag both go down in the spawn. Neptune does some more damage towards the Banana. This is falling apart for Lazarus right now. Subrose is so low in health also. Pinned in construction does actually catch the shot on the Kusta, who's sadly unscoped, but Neptune finishes it off with 2 quick frags. The op should be retrieved. And indeed it is by Freaka's side. Ghost managing to claw back into that gun round right there. Do put Lazarus in a tough position. They have enough to buy on 3 players. They don't on 2. Are they going to take the force buy, or are we going to see the eco coming through? I mean, Subrose is on a double eco, so I wouldn't be surprised if they buy, and that's what they are going to do. As I said, Lazarus, of course, did buy back up into this one, though, so it is an opportunity for them to try and return the round immediately. They don't want to allow Ghost to get too much momentum in their favor, and they want to put a stop to them early on into this one, because, of course, Ghost, they would be looking at Nico if they lose this round. But again, from that D side, it's just a slow-paced round, looking for the control slowly across the map. Banana pretty much being given to them in the beginning, as we haven't really seen Lazarus looking to try and contest it heavily, which is understandable in this round. Of course, they don't really have the utility to do so. 45 seconds now again remaining for Ghost. They do have to make a decision pretty soon about where they want to go with this one. And again, the bomb just towards the bottom of Banana can be picked up and really taken towards either bomb site for now. They have the full Banana control. They have the full control of brackets. This time, bringing it over towards A, I feel like maybe the better decision, and that's where they are going to be going towards. It's Dapper and Zeltz right now. The issue is, of course, that's the 2 rifles that they have in play, or at least 2 of the 3 rifles. Smoke and a couple of flashes as well for them to try and hold it down. Subrose, I was going to say, was looking to get aggressive on Banana. If he did, he could have maybe caught Steel off guard, but ends up getting dropped. The push coming in towards A, and it's working out in favor of Ghost. They open it up, they clean it up pretty much perfectly. The bomb's going to go down again, and Infinite and Swag at this point are left to just try and save. Not really much that can be done in the 2-on-4 without a defuse kit, without utility, and with so little money in the bank. It's certainly worthwhile for them to carry these weapons over to at least give themselves something to work with in this next round. But again, they may actually consider force buying up. I don't know. I don't think they'll do it, though. Of course, having forced into this one, it certainly wouldn't be worthwhile. Didn't really do any damage. It's more so with the 2 weapons being carried over. It's something that they may consider, but as I said, prefer not to see it. chilling in the pit, making sure they can survive. Easily able to do so, of course, with the plant towards the back of the bomb site. If it's on like that default plant spot on the side for short, then it does do quite a bit of damage. It's still survivable as long as you're on around full health. But yeah, Ghost take a second round. Lazarus are just going to come through with the eco now. A Deagle for Sabrosa, the MP7 saved over by Swag, an M4 saved over for Infinite. Why didn't Swag drop that CZ to a teammate though? It's a little bit interesting. Zelzus or Dapper certainly could have done with it, just so that they'd have a pistol rather than the default USP. I mean, with the MP7 in his possession, Swag probably not going to be needing that CZ very much. I mean, it takes a while to pull out anyway. It's certainly better for one of his teammates to just have it prepped in their hands at all times. It's a little bit of a boost over towards Long. I'm not sure who's on the bottom of it. I believe it is Zeltz has been boosted up. And it should be Infinite actually over there as well, so they do have the rifle in that position. A couple of shots being shot off. Does give away that the rifle is over towards A-Long, unfortunately, but for now, still that 5-on-5. Ghost actually trying to pressure into B, sending Steel forward. Swag has a flash that's going to go through, but with the smoke down, he can't really afford to take the peek off of it, of course. Freakazide ends up creeping out on mid and taking down Dapper. Only having a USP, of course, you don't really expect a lot to be found from him, so it is now that man advantage for Ghost. Again, 45 seconds remaining as they just go around and retrieve the bomb. Looking to try and make their way onto A, where they have actually found a pretty much open bomb site, apart from Infinite, who looks to try and chime in from Long. Of course, did take a quick double kill before it was returned on. Kusta then catches Zeltz trying to sneak into that smoke on A-Long towards middle, and of course he gets taken down. So now I feel like a save probably worthwhile once again. So Broza just carry over the M4. I mean, Swag has the Kevlar as well. He probably won't want to keep the MP7 in play in the next round, but I mean, maybe it could be worthwhile to drop over to a teammate so that they could pull out a little bit extra utility. But let's see. 3-2 for Ghost now. They go ahead and claim the lead. I see someone write an exclamation mark observer. Unfortunately, it is just auto director. Ooh. A little bit awkward. Two players actually end up going down in the end there. Steel and Kusta, I believe, being dropped. So, not many weapons being saved over for Ghost, and they haven't actually built up too much money for themselves. So, I mean, a lot of reinvestment having to come through right now. Doesn't leave them with too much money in the reserve, meaning if they do end up losing one round, they could be looking at a potential eco. I don't think that'd be the case, though, at least not. Oh, well, maybe now it could be actually because Steel ended up buying up a little bit more as well. So, yeah, I mean, Ghost haven't really built up much money at all. So there's an opportunity for Lazarus if they can come into this gun round right now to actually put Ghost down onto a bit of a limited buy in the next round. They probably would still invest into it, especially with Wardell having so much money. But look at this from Kusta, straight through Molotov. That is a dangerous play. He does at least make it work for one frag. And, of course, with Ghost being on the T side, a 1-for-1 trade, that is something that they can be happy with. Pull it even further, though, in their favor because Steel creeping out on Long. He's willing to eat the nade in order to take the headshot on towards Swag. And now with the smokes going down on Arch and Library, that A-bomb site is going to be under a lot of pressure. It's Dapper from the pit that's going to have to try and hold it down. Infinite just spamming away, does get a bit of damage. And then allows for Dapper to finish that one off. But trade it back again. Steel then spamming through the smoke. As it's Sabrosa who's left all alone. Rotating in through CT as the bomb goes down. I don't know what his chances are. I mean, he may be aware that there's a couple of players tagged up somewhat. Steel on very low HP. Wardell down quite low as well. I mean, it's somewhat winnable, especially with a smoke and the flash in play as well. But let's see, is he going to be given any opportunities to actually make his way in? Sabrosa should at least be able to save over the 8k, so a decent recovery, been able to bring over the one weapon, but should be Lazarus again looking at an eco coming through. Sabrosa can drop over that Deagle to a teammate. Some pistols should be pulled out anyway, of course, as we are going to see Lazarus going on to the full loss bonus of $3,400 in this next round, so they have an opportunity to get out some weaponry at least, try and keep the damage up, keep the economy modest for Ghost. Let's see. What is the plan going to be? I'd like to see them maybe take a bit of a gamble, stack up somewhere on the map. They do actually have quite a lot of utility, which is good. Smokes on everyone. Molotovs as well onto a couple of the players. Some flashes. I mean, it's certainly a winnable round. Those pistols can still be quite impactful on Inferno. Lots of close range positions to use them quite efficiently. But a slow round coming through right now from Ghost. They do know that they're up against that weaker buy, of course, and they recognize that a weapon was saved over by Subroza, who saved, or who rather stayed alive. They weren't really sure of what exact weapon it was, but it doesn't really matter too much because Steel ends up actually just finding the headshot either way. So Subroza goes down. The AK being dropped will, of course, be retrieved. It's now in the hands of Swag. But I mean, it's not great for them to have a man disadvantage now turned into a two-man disadvantage. Freakazoid just finds that spam through the smoke with his final bullet as well, I believe, on the Zelzis. Kusta needs to be careful here. He's already tagged down to like half HP, so trying to sell a bit of a fake on B. I mean, it's successful to keep those two players in position. They managed to deal with Dapper quite easily in the graveyard. And with that, again, they do find control of the bomb site quite easily. I mean, I hate saying it that they may just save once again, but I mean, for Swag, that kind of is the best decision. I mean, he can go and try and get a bit of damage in, see if he can drop a few weapons out of hands of Ghost, and it feels like that is what he's trying. Gets one. Freakazoid also in position that he is aware of. He's going to be a little bit more cautious now. Ghost, I don't know if they're going to really hunt them down too aggressively. They don't have the most amazing money themselves. Dean, do the thing. What thing? I don't know what you mean, Tez. Who's calling for Lazarus? Well, I didn't know, but apparently, according to the chat over the last couple of minutes, it is it's apparently Brax. Swag. Seeing that, of course, was a response to the question from Sitting Bull. But yeah, 5-2. Ghost right now starting off really well on the T side of Inferno. Already building up a decent foundation in order to just try and grind this out into a really strong half. And it is certainly worth noting that this is the map choice of Lazarus. They came in with that Inferno pick. We then had Ghost picking up Nuke, and then Train, if needed, will be the decider. So it'll be interesting to see if we make it that far. The issue is, if we go on towards Nuke, that's a pretty good map for Ghost. They played it a few times over the last 3 months and have had some pretty solid results. On the other hand, Lazarus, they played it twice, I believe, pretty recently. They weren't able to pick up a victory, unfortunately. I mean, getting stumped by Liquid, not really too surprising. Liquid, a great team. Lost to Complexity then 16-13. So it's not like we could completely count them out on Nuke. But yeah, Ghost looking good anyway here. 1-for-1 trade again coming through early on in the round. Something that Ghost can be happy with. It forces Lazarus to kind of split up their defense a little bit, or maybe make a bit of a gamble to try and take some peeks, find some info, get some frags maybe in their favor, and that's exactly what happens. The op of Zelzis is able to step it up over on Banana. With that now, a minute remaining on the clock. The bomb actually being picked up by Wardell. And it looks like they are going to try and aim it over towards this A bomb site. A couple of players already set up a nice crossfire between the pit and the site. And then also, of course, the ability for Subroza to rotate over quickly. He's currently just spotting that long cross, and then also can go back and help B if needed. There we go, creeping around on long. Subroza could get timed quite hard right now. Wardell on the yop takes the shot but doesn't connect it. That's going to be a bit of info now as he calls that over. Nade over towards long, coming in from Swag. Does a bit of damage, but he takes one in return. Dropped the 42. Flashes coming through, but as they come from the smoke, it's easy for Swag. It's 2 quick frags. It's all onto Neptune. And he is going to be quickly dropped as Dapper just plays around the bomb site. Lazarus going to finally be able to put another round on the board. Doing so in a pretty convincing fashion, keeping 3 players alive. And after we see Ghost buy up into this round, they're going to spread out the money a little bit. Wardell probably going to drop a rifle over to Kusta, buy himself up and up. That will leave them with not really much money in the bank onto the majority of the players. I mean, it's not too bad. They probably still have enough for 1 buy on 3 of the players in the next round. But there is a chance here for Lazarus. If they can pick up this one and then win out the following against a bit of a weaker investment, then they have a real good opportunity to go ahead and even take themselves into the lead. Oh, Kusta ends up getting dinked down in towards the trees, in towards the tree, I believe. Not ideal. Freakazoid also damaged as is Neptune. I mean, it's returned back a little bit. But a frag eventually comes true, and it wasn't even sight being needed of the opponent for Zelzes. He actually just got the wall bang. A little bit awkward for Freak. Trying to stutter step the long corner and get off a couple of pre-fires. Ends up actually taking down a teammate. And it certainly doesn't make that man disadvantage any easier. Caster, what's your prediction on this best of 3? I'm actually not too sure. I feel like I probably favor Ghost a little bit. But I don't know. I think Lazarus are a pretty solid team as well. I just haven't really seen much from Lazarus. Unfortunately, I don't follow the NA scene super duperly close. And I just said super duper. I don't know why I said that. I have never said that before. But well. Zelzes right now. He's alone on B. They've taken a gamble with 4 towards that A bomb site. They do already have the man advantage, but ideally he wants to get a little bit more done before he gives up the bomb site. And that should be enough. Drops Freak aside, delays the push a little bit. The bomb should be retrieved, but it's actually in the CT spawn. Oh no. That one frag has probably confirmed this round in favor of Lazarus very, very easily without even giving the bomb plant to Ghost. It's only Wardell that remains now, a 1-on-5, and with 12 seconds, I give him basically 0% chance. He is just looking to save, as you can see. Molly's off one angle so that he can focus on CT, make sure they don't push him down. But he needs to ensure that he doesn't get dropped after time, because that would be detrimental. He's pinned in behind the pillar. If he goes down, he gets no loss bonus. And that is a tough pill to swallow right there. $2,200 in the bank because of it. I feel like now we probably will just see the eco coming true. Neptune gets an AK. Freakazite could probably do the same as long as they keep some money. They could buy in the next round anyway, but they're not going to go for it. I don't like this force play. I mean, they could just take one eco, buy in the round afterwards. I mean, even if they wanted a couple of AKs, Freak and Neptune could have just went for like maybe the AK and the Kevlar, not bought a utility, just so that they'd have a couple of weapons, maybe try and let the pistols go first, see if the AKs can at least trade and give themselves a chance to win it out. But I don't know, it's a risky force buy, because if this doesn't work, then Lazarus should be putting themselves in the lead at 6-5. Caster, bring more hype into the game. I can try and bring a little bit more, but I also don't want to wake up the children that are currently asleep in my house. So that's not really ideal. I have my little cousins here at the moment, due to some family stuff going on. They're staying for the next few days. So Broza, though, going to be able to catch that frag onto Steel. It is a well-needed trade as well back, of course. Zelz is actually able to take down Kusta, who takes a dry peek into the CT spawn. I mean, that's a little bit risky. And, of course, he does end up paying a hefty price for it. 4-on-3 now favouring the CTs. Freakazite, though, getting flashed out on the Mach 10, able to get one to Glock. He actually gets the dink onto Dapper on the bomb site. Wardell then finishes it off with the op, only slightly overkill. The Molotov potentially actually could stop that bomb from being planted. A nade in it as well. Neptune ends up taking a bit of damage from the nade, but actually the Molotov doesn't do anything, surprisingly. So it is still the man disadvantage for Lazarus now coming into this retake. It could be Ghost instantly returning around, but Zelz is able to find the head of Wardell, peeking up above the box. It's up to Neptune now, alongside Freakazite. Neptune does actually step it up to find the first frag. Sabrosa pushes through, able to actually spot out that player in the back corner. Knew he was there already, of course. Does some good damage, rather. And flicks over for the headshot on Freak, but of course, with that then, Neptune easily able to peek out and ensure that he does return it. So it will be Ghost Gaming able to win out that round with one player alive. It means that they do have to heavily reinvest into this round, and of course Lazarus haven't lost that previous one. They put all of their money to get the rebuy in. So both sides actually in a pretty tough position right now. The loser of this likely put down onto an eco, or potentially a force buy. I want me to call them bully side. It's a little bit of an old meme, right? Just a little bit old. But yeah, not a great start into this round, anyways, for Ghost. Steel, I believe, just trying to peek up through Banana, ends up getting dropped. It was the up of Zelz's, of course, that opened things up in this round. Indeed, it was Steel who went down. So not great, considering Ghost do also have a weaker weapon in play in the hands of Kusta, who's actually now being tagged up down to 48 HP. Off the back of that op shot being connected. Actually, I believe 46. Indeed it is. There was a mark on my monitor that made it look like an 8. God damn it. But actually, they're just going to look to try and commit in towards B. Now, it was, of course, only Kusta for a little while. He's called over for the rotations, able to actually open it up with the Mach 10 as he goes forward. Great control on the AUG from Infinite to get 2. That's a little bit more than I was expecting from him, pinned in that corner in all honesty, so a decent find. Sabrosa though takes some damage, Swag takes some damage, but that's actually from the gun of Dapper. As the bomb now going to be planted. I've seen Sabrosa trying to put a stop to it. Unfortunately, only a small bit of health actually being taken away from Neptune with that spam coming through, so it is going to have to be the retake. A bit of utility in play with the flash going over. There is a couple of defuse kits as well, but Wardell gets the first, Neptune gets one as well, and Dapper's just pinned in between both players right now. He gets the first on the Neptune, but traded back by the Opper. Again, Ghost Gaming just about managed to edge out that round. That now Lazarus actually put down onto the eco. It should be Ghost being able to win out the half at the very least. An 8th round quite likely to be found. Steel just on a deagle in this one. I mean, maybe he didn't expect that they were going up against an eco in this round. Or, well, yeah, it is pretty much an eco. I mean, they have some investment into it. Not a force buy, of course. They're just going to spend the excess cash to get out some pistols, a bit of utility, and a Mag 7 for Dapper. I mean, that nade already actually being quite fruitful in its return, and that does actually drop Kusta to 54, so a little bit of a weakened player already over on the Ghost Gaming side. But they are able to pretty much negate that fact anyways. Steel just takes the AK instead. Can you ban the spoilers? Unfortunately, I don't actually have mod on my account, as I am just a caster. I don't think we have an... well, I'm sure there is some mods in the chat. I would say so. All I got is that VIP badge, because I am apparently a very important person. Don't know who said so, but I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it. Tier 2 NA is fun to watch, said Digitalize. I mean, yeah, probably. I would say this is Tier 2 NA. Certainly two very capable teams, though, so I was expecting this to be a strong matchup. Zelzas catches Kusta again, who's pushing in alone over towards B. Gets taken down again, was already tagged up though, so it's not too big of a deal. But Dapper on the Mag 7. The first shot didn't even make any sound, apparently. He gets a second then quickly to follow it up before eventually being dropped by the Op. Inferno peeks out for a quick headshot, and now it's all onto Steel. 1 on 3. It looks like the eco round has been won out by Lazarus, and it's confirmed with that final headshot from Zelzas. A free Op, a free couple of AKs. As Lazarus snatch away a round that they should have had pretty much no right in. That is a heartbreaking one for Ghost, and you can see it actually kind of flips the table on them now, because instead of having a position where they're likely looking, where they're already sitting on 8 rounds, and they had an opportunity, of course, to try and continue on building that lead as the economy still would have been low for Lazarus. Instead, it's Ghost who are working with a very weak investment. An SMG, some pistols, and already Swag being able to find 2. Infinite opened up as well on the AUG early on. And it's all on the Freaka side suddenly with a minute and a half remaining, and I think he's going to be going down pretty soon as well. It's inevitable as he walks forward into the crosshair of Dapper. Oh, no, don't take the Mach 10. That is certainly not an upgrade off the AUG. This is now just a full eco from Ghost, so this should be Lazarus tying up that scoreline at 7 each. I would imagine they'll do so in a pretty convincing... well, they're looking to do so in a pretty convincing fashion, but it should be relatively easy anyway, because they only really have 2 P250s invested over on the Ghost side. 1 flash then for Steel. I mean, there's an opportunity if they can maybe overwhelm a player and steal away a weapon, so let's see how it goes. Right now, just on second mid with the majority of the T side. And his 3 players just kind of holding back, I guess, and waiting to see if anyone gets aggressive from the CT side, rather. Oh, suppose easy spray down. Had a bit of assistance from Infinite, looking for the ace. I mean, it's against an eco, so if we got it, it wouldn't have been the biggest of deals, but it's always nice for confidence. And it will just be finished off then with that final frag coming through from, I believe it was Dapper, if I remember correctly. It was one of the AUGs anyway, shooting down on mid. But either way, that is 7-7 now. Who is going to be the team to get themselves a little bit of a lead heading into that second half? No matter what, Ghost picking up 7 rounds on the T side, certainly something they can be happy with. So I feel like Lazarus, they'll be more so in need of this 8th round right now, just to get themselves some sort of lead heading into that second half. If they let the pistol go down, they could be in a bit of a difficult position. But let's see. Lazarus switching it up a bit. 3 players towards Banana early on. The smoke going down towards the bottom alongside some nades being thrown out, as they do manage to find that Banana control quite easily. The issue is Ghost haven't just given it up already, pushing forward on mid. And with no one spotting long at the moment for that CT side, this could be dangerous. They could creep forward. They could maybe set up a split towards the A-bomb site. They could creep into the spawn. Let's see what's going to happen. It is going to be up to Swag and Dapper to try and hold it down, as it seems like A is going to be their target. Oh, and already actually making their way on towards the bomb site, and Swag had absolutely no idea. In towards the pit then, Dapper getting dropped as well as Kusta claimed his second headshot. Steel in the meantime able to cut off one rotation through the spawn. And with that, it's a 5-on-2. And of course, there's no option for the save for Lazarus. They have to go forward, and they just continue to lose players. There it is, a perfect final round from Ghost. They take the 8-7 lead at halftime. And with that, Lazarus now, they're going to have a pretty difficult T-side, especially if they aren't able to come in and take the second pistol round. At that point then, it would probably be 10-7 before Lazarus got a buyout. That's if they take the eco. If they were to force up and then the force doesn't work in their favor, they could be looking at an 11-7 deficit. So let's see. Hopefully we won't be waiting too long before we hop into that second half. Don't want to see either of these sides cooling off. I want to keep that action at a high pace right now. And yeah, again, for anyone who may just be joining us recently, I guess we can quickly touch on how the VO went down. I don't think we actually talked about the bans before, so we did actually see Lazarus remove Overpass, Ghost then getting rid of Mirage. As we said, then Lazarus, they are the ones that did choose Inferno here, so the fact that they were only able to pick up 7 rounds on their CT side, certainly not ideal. Ghost then coming in with the choice of Nuke, which, as I said, could be a little bit of a tough one for Lazarus if they aren't able to get this victory here. I feel like that could lead to the potential 2-0 for Ghost, and if needed, then we would have Train as the decider, which would be a pretty interesting one. I'm not actually sure what that map is like for both of these sides. I mean, I can have a quick look. Again, I'm not super familiar with all the NA teams. But yeah, from what I can see, it seems to be a decent enough map for Ghost. They haven't played it too much recently. They took down Envy, for example, in the DreamHack Dallas qualifier, was it? I actually can't remember exactly. I believe it was. But yeah, I mean, if it does go onto that third map, I don't really know which way it could go. I feel like it really could be towards either team, considering Lazarus actually did have some pretty solid results. I believe taking out Complexity actually only yesterday. So, I mean, certainly a map that they can play. They actually took a 16-8 in their favor. Counter-terrorists win. Talking about bans, but he means map. Lol, what do you mean? I went through the map VO, I went through the bans, and I went through what they chose. What's that even mean, fam? We're getting back into it though, so doesn't matter. The action is going to be resuming. And as I said, Lazarus, this is a pretty important pistol for them to pick up right now if they want to be able to quickly get themselves off to a solid starter on the T side. Probably gain themselves the lead off the back of it then as well. But look at this aggression from Ghost. The flash straight over second mid is actually quite similar to what we've seen from Lazarus on their CT pistol when they peeked out through the apartments as well. But a man advantage being found early on for Ghost. Is it going to be enough though? Because a couple of players already taken down to low HP, and eventually Zelzas and Sabrosa, they do manage to drop Wardell and Steel, which of course brings the man advantage over in favor of that T side. It's only Kusta that's healthy. The other 2 players are inches from death right now, so Lazarus in a great position. As long as they stick together and take this towards when they take this towards really either of these bomb sites, as long as they trade efficiently, they are looking good to pick up this pistol, and with that equalize the scoreline. And there we go. Kusta has no chance. As we don't even see Freakazoid and Neptune actually leaving that A-bomb site as of yet. I mean, it's not like they really have any chance of pulling the retake off with the health that they currently have, so it probably is worthwhile for them in all honesty just to carry over to Kevlar so that they have something in this next round. Can buy up some P250s if they don't want to go for the full buy, if they're going to fully invest, and it just saves them a bit of money in general. So I do definitely agree with it. And also, of course, denies Lazarus from getting those kills. I mean, it is only a pistol, so it'd be It's not like they're getting the extra $600 per frag, but I mean, even 300 per kill does add up. But right now, Lazarus, they are trying to hunt it down. Not really having much themselves to lose. Taking the round win no matter what. Zelzis will find one on the Neptune. And I feel like at this point, Freaka's probably just going to hide for as long as he can and hope not to be spotted. I think he may have been spotted in the last couple of seconds by Infinite, but fortunately the clock does run down, so he will end up carrying over that Kevlar in the end. Force Buy seemingly going to come true as Wardell already gets a scout. Deagle comes out for Freak. Kusta gets a flash, Kevlar, and the Deagle for himself. Yeah, and eventually everyone buys up. So it is the full investment from Ghost. They're looking to try and come true with the Force Buy. Dublin, Portugal. That's a new one, Tex. A 1-for-1 trade, though, to start things off. That's not too bad. I mean, the issue is, though, for Kusta, although he gets that frag, he goes down really low. Steel continued trying to face him towards the middle. He had already been tagged by Zelzis initially, and he ends up getting quickly dropped by a headshot. So, again, Lazarus easily finding an advantage in terms of the manpower and the health. And, of course, they started off with one as the firepower was pretty heavily in their favor, having that extra money to fully invest. Yeah, I am indeed Irish. Tex is just a troll. He comes through whenever someone asks where I'm from. He says Dublin, but he puts a random country at the end of it. But yeah, that aggression being caught off guard anyway. I believe have the info that Neptune is over towards B. Maybe not 100% aware, so they are actually clearing out this bomb site before they go get the bomb down. But now they know that there's no one here. The bomb should be planted, and with that, Lazarus should quite easily be claiming the lead at 9-8. And of course, with Ghost Gaming not having that force by rather work out in their favor, they are going to be looking at an eco in this following round. So it should be Lazarus bringing it up to double digits. Why an Irish caster at a North American game? I don't know. I do a lot of the qualifiers and stuff for ESL. I was asked, was I available for the qualifiers? I said I was. I marked down that I could do either the Asian one, the European one, or the North American one, which was any of the three. And this was the one they gave me. But I believe the other casters as well over on the other streams are also European, so Mitch is also Irish. He's doing the Asian games. And then I know Jeet was meant to be doing the European qualifier, but I believe he's been having some internet issues. So I believe the Eternal J has stepped in. He used to go under the name Switchblade J. I don't know if you guys you might recognize him. But yeah, this is an eco anyway coming through now by Ghost, so we don't expect much to be found in this round. It should be a pretty easy 10th put onto the board for Lazarus. Have a quick look at the scoreboard to see how everyone is actually contributing so far. It's Zelzis leading the way over on that Lazarus side, as you can see, pretty convincingly. 17-10 right now, topping the entire server. For Ghost Gaming, it's a little bit closer, I suppose. The frag disparity not quite as much. Wardell a little bit down there, which isn't ideal to see, of course, considering he's the primary opper for that Ghost Gaming side. I mean, but with the fact, of course, that they were on the T side of Inferno, it is a map where that op can be quite difficult to get rolling with. Infinite, he will actually come in with that open and frag over towards the apartments. Am I casting any upcoming Tier 1 events? No, probably not. I recently done that Charleroi event and also Copenhagen Games. Was away for a while for those. Right now, just chilling at home, doing some online casting. Getting to, you know, chat with all y'all in the Twitch chat. Bit of a B stack right now. This could be dangerous. Not because the bomb is going to be committing in towards B. I mean, there's 30 seconds remaining, so that's going to go towards A, which is completely open. But I mean, there's two players pushing forward, and they could risk losing their weaponry. So Broza goes down. It's only a Galil, so it's not the worst of things. Dapper, then he falls back off. He did have a Krieg, so if they had have lost that one, then it would have been a little bit worse. He actually sticks around and ends up catching the aggression from Kusta. So round already confirmed in favor of Lazarus. Of course, it's all about if Ghost can maybe catch another couple of frags, maybe steal away another weapon or two. Why isn't the main channel showing these qualifying matches? The main channel was, but it was covering the European games, and the European qualifier, of course, was still going on when I started this one for the North American one, so that's why we're on this channel. Just a quick explanation that the qualifiers did overlap. Is there a caster delay? Yeah, there is some delay built in. I don't have delay on my end, but the relay that I send it to, like to ESL, they have like a custom streaming thing. I believe that has some delay. I don't know how much, but it's probably like a minute or something along those lines. So when I do actually respond to you guys in the chat, you won't hear it for a little while. But yeah, 10-8 right now. Ghost, they are of course coming out onto the bye. Are they going to be able to get some rounds on the board early on the CT side? They had a great showing on the offense. I mean, they had a spectacular start for sure. It ended up kind of getting a little bit more shaky, but they did of course end up still taking the lead at the halftime. 8 rounds on the T side was good for them. LAZARUS, can they keep up this performance right now? Again, this is their map choice, so if LAZARUS were to step it up on any of these maps, it definitely would have been here on Inferno, and that's what they're doing right now. As the pause has been removed, it's a double up setup coming out into play actually for Ghost. Wardell on the primary, as you would expect. Kusta on the secondary, which actually wasn't the case all the time yesterday. We actually seen Steel picking it up a few times as the secondary opper, which was interesting. I think it was more about the positions he was playing on maps. I believe he picked it up at points on Dust too. Oh, Zelsis, I believe he did actually spot the opper peeking down mid. Ends up just taking the swing out, and although the shot is connected, it's onto the legs. So Zelsis is actually allowed to survive, gets blinded up, and still survives the peek from Steel. So that is the 5-on-4 early on for LAZARUS. I mean, they take quite a lot of damage onto a couple of players, so it's not the most comfortable advantage. They do still have the 5-on-4, so I mean, as long as they stick together later on in the round and trade, it is also a position where Ghost, having the disadvantage, may try and get aggressive somewhere, either to find info or to see if they can pull back a frag. And of course, if LAZARUS can go ahead and actually punish it, then it's always a good position to be in. But here we go, commitment coming straight through towards B. Freakaside boosted up in the spawn, actually finds 3 quick headshots on the Yogg, gets the... Oh god. Gets the fort before going down. Apologies, my throat's a little bit dry and it gave up on me. But now it's all on to Swag. 1v2, he forces the issue in the spawn and gets the first. But he also wanted to fight in against Neptune, and unfortunately, Neptune covering his head off a little bit, crouched with the Yogg, ends up actually getting that final frag. And I need to take a sip of water because my voice is just giving up on me right now. As a caster, what's your favorite spell? I don't know, man. If I watch, I don't even know any spell names from like Harry Potter or anything, otherwise I'd probably respond with one of them. But I got your joke. That's all that matters, right? Yeah, I kind of choked there a little bit. I'm trying to get those words out. Apologies. Slightly ruined the casting for that 4K from Freakaside. But either way, that was a big round to be picked up, of course, for Ghost. The issue is they did only end up surviving with actually 1 player, so not ideal. After they reinvest, you can see some weaker weapons in play with the Mag 7 and MP9. On the other hand, LAZARUS were able to pull out the full investment pretty easily. I seen someone say, "Don't die, caster." Thank you for caring about me. I mean, I choked. Did LAZARUS choke? I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, it's a slow round again coming through from LAZARUS. I mean, in this one, they of course are aware that Ghost are going to be on a pretty weak investment, only surviving with 1 player. So playing a little bit safer, knowing that they can run down the utility as well and have a bit of an easier time later in the round. But hang on, Dapper and Sabrosa right now just creeping in towards B, playing on the contact. They do successfully trade out 2 for 1, so that ends up giving them control of this B bomb site. The bomb now going to be brought over in this direction. And with that now, the bomb should be planted. Steel, though, he can manage to pull back a frag before it comes down to that retake, which is a big find. And it's also, of course, an upgrade onto the AK. So it's 3-on-3 now as the bomb gets planted. Ghost's going to be rotating around. They have a defuse kit onto Neptune. They have lots of utility. And they are now all actually coming from that 1 position, as I said, as they were just wrapping around in towards CT to try and work together. Issue is, bomb ticking away now. They need to get a move on very, very quickly. Couple flashes onto 2 of the players. A couple smokes and a Molotov, but as they aren't really given an opportunity immediately, they actually do decide that saving is probably the better idea. Which, I mean, I don't know, at that point it probably was, but it was just the fact that they took so long to begin to move forward. They were waiting for Steel, of course, to go ahead and make his way around. Someone said Kusta has been playing great lately. I agree. He had some great performances yesterday for Ghost, and has I guess been doing okay so far in this map. I mean, it's still map number 1 of the best of 3, so there's a lot of room for them to step up. Right now they're down by 2 rounds, so maybe not playing good enough. But of course they still have the opportunity. They were able to save over the weapons during that previous round. It gives them the buy once again. But they need to make this one work because Lazarus are just slowly building up this lead right now on the T side. Is this the classic view model? I think it's the preset 3, but then with I think the Y put down to like -1, so that it's pushed in. It's like close to the screen, because if you put it out, then it kind of just gets a little bit in the way of stuff. I like how it looks like that, but it's not practical, you know. But yeah, another slow round coming through from Lazarus. They like their slow approaches, just the defaults here on the T side. They split up, slowly gather control towards Banana in middle, then they make a decision about what they want to do. But for now, not actually pushing forward into brackets. Infinite going to be making a little bit of noise, I believe. You can see him getting some utility ready to try and actually show some presence. For now, just going to be chilling, though, as his teammates set up on Banana. It is Freakazoid alongside Neptune to try and lock down this B-bomb site. We've seen Freakazoid, of course, hold it down with the 4K just a couple of rounds ago. And they get it done once again. Neptune has elevated himself above on second. Oranges finds a quick headshot onto Sabrosa. Looking to try and delay a little bit further. Actually, we do see the swing come in from the back lines right there. Freakazoid able to go ahead and get in a good bit of damage, assisted then by Kusta, who has found a quick triple kill. It's all onto Infinite. He's trying to lurk in through mid, and Steel should have an easy kill on the shotgun. Bam, that's a headache. Question for the caster: what do you think about Brax being allowed to compete? I mean, I have no problem with it being allowed to compete. And even if I did, it wouldn't be it wouldn't really matter, would it? How much do I get paid if I can tell a range or anything? I mean, it depends on what tournament, who the organizer, the size of the tournament, all that sort of stuff, you know? Also, I'm not really going to say, but just to let you guys know, it does kind of depend. It also depends on who the person is. For me, though, it also, as I said, does differentiate from event to event. But Lazarus right now, down onto the pistols in Kevlar. What can they find? Apparently they can find some op bullets to the chest, because Wardell, he's holding it down in unison with Neptune. A very easy round seemingly going to be coming through for Ghost to equalize at 11. It's only Swag that remains, and I mean, he may be looking swag, he may be looking cool over on short, but in a 1-on-5, I don't know. I feel like he's just looking like a little bit of a fool. Left lurking while his teammates all fell. I mean, at least maybe he can find a couple of kills. That's a quick shot on Steel, but does end up getting traded back by Wardell. So there it is, 11-11 now, equalized up the score. All tied as a pause comes true. I'm going to go ahead and double check, but I presume this is a pause from Lazarus. And indeed it is. So they're going to be discussing what's going on right now, what they can do to make sure that they keep this game competitive right now and don't allow for Ghost to really just run away with it now that they've got the guns and the economy kind of rolling on the CT side. Can we get the stream title changed to Q&A with Dean? I mean, we may as well at this point. Yeah, 3 MAC-10s, a UMP, and an AK. I mean, this isn't an amazing buy from Lazarus. They have at least some loss bonus rolling. So, I mean, if they get a bomb plant in this round at least, then they will be buying once again in the next one. But it's a good opportunity for Ghost to just go ahead and try and take this one. It slightly weakens the buy then in the next round as well. And there it is again, the up in the hands of Wardell to open up the round. Zelzis goes down early on. Sabrosa and Swag in the meantime have taken quite a lot of damage. Wardell just continues to find some frags. Steel rather on the bomb site, of course. Also there to assist, gets 2, as Dapper does the same, but of course he's now left alone in the 1-on-3. The bomb going down at least. I said that was needed for them to get a solid buy in this next round, so that is a positive certainly to be found. But if he wants to win the round, Dapper is looking at an ace clutch, and as long as Ghost work together and move in for the trade at least to be found, then they shouldn't be too worried about that. Here we go, let's see. Pushing forward from long. Dapper actually does line them up. 1 bullet remaining as he's sadly not able to finish off Freakazoid. And with that, Neptune then able to come in and clean it up with the final frag. 12-11. Ghost going to go ahead and claim the lead. But of course, as I said, LAZARUS thankfully getting that bomb down gives them a relatively decent buy in this round right now. Unfortunately, even if they wanted it, they wouldn't be able to get the up utility-wise. It should be okay, but it's not going to be amazing. So, yeah, I mean, LAZARUS still aren't in the greatest of positions. And what's going on? Are they going for another half buy? Okay. I mean, fair enough. But if they're going to go for the half buy here, why did they go for it in the previous round? That means they obviously must have somewhat misjudged the economy, because if their economy's still that weak, it's not good enough for them to get the bio. They were thinking they probably would be able to, and then they even get the bomb plant, then I don't know. I feel like they definitely should have just taken the eco in the previous, came into the buy right now. But instead, they put themselves in a position where Ghost, they're just continuing to rack up these rounds. It's going to be 13-11 most likely before the guns come out for LAZARUS. Trying to pile out the apartments, not too successful. Zelzis does go forward, as does Infinite. Through the short position, he ends up burning alive. Steal on the USP, takes down Sabrosa. And Swag had gotten sick and tired of trying to get out balcony, so he ran back around the boiler and is left again in the 1v5. But that doesn't matter because now he's dead. 13-11, 2 rounds in the lead for Ghost, beginning to solidify themselves here on the CT side, building up a decent economy as well. They have enough in the reserve for a buy. At the very least, if they do end up losing a round, as this is one of the last chances for LAZARUS. If they don't pick up this gun round right now, then Ghost are probably looking at the 15-11 lead before we see another gun round coming through, unless they at least find the bomb plant in this one on the LAZARUS side. Biased, Caster? Oh, I'm super biased towards these American teams, man. Super biased. Casta Squelga. My Irish isn't great, man. Sorry. There's no way I'm trying that. Oh, but this looks like it's actually going to be a quick play from LAZARUS right now. The issue is, for Ghost, they've gone for that 3-man stack early on towards B, which is, of course, pretty common if you do want to try and get that banana control. But it leaves Steel and Wardell right now alone on that A-bomb site. Kusta rotating through, though, is actually able to catch Zelzis, who is getting a bit adventurous in through the arch position. Ends up going down. Wardell getting aggressive on short. May have the opportunity for a frag in towards middle, which he does find. But in the meantime, Infinite was able to get one towards the balcony. Wardell also really low on HP. Eventually gets finished off. And with that now, the A-bomb site actually open for the taking. The bomb is going to go down. It's the 3-on-3. Will this retake be successful for Ghost, or LAZARUS finally going to be able to put another round on the board with a successful afterplant? Get moving very, very quickly. Issue is they don't have a lot of utility. One flash still remaining in play right now. Freakazoid trying to creep out of the balcony, gets dropped by Infinite, and with that, Neptune and Kusta, I think, do just back away. I mean, they have decent money in play anyway, but especially now since Neptune has recovered an op, it's just not really worthwhile for them to throw these weapons away. Oh, Sabrosa losing some health. That means he's going to go down to the bomb. Infinite, I think, should survive, but no, because it was planted on the default position. It takes, I think, roughly 70-something health off of them. Infinite was on 67, Sabrosa was down to like 30, so yeah, some good damage being found there from Ghost. They're going to be easily reinvesting, of course. They actually do heavily impact the buy in this round for LAZARUS, leaving them with 3 SMGs just because they were able to drop those weapons in the end. Can confirm casters were in a Ghost journey jersey. I actually don't own any esports apparel. I mean, that's not necessarily true. I don't own esports apparel. There's not any jerseys for teams. Yeah, this is a tough one for LAZARUS. As I said, the fact that they did end up losing those players in the end of the previous round puts them in a tough position. They had to go for so much reinvestment that leaves them with very little money in the reserve now. They have like kind of $200 or so on the majority of the players. Neptune's going to go down. I mean, whatever. Was he waiting for a smoke off a Freakazoid? Freak didn't have one, though. He only had a molly and a flash, so unless he wanted another Molotov under his feet to be double roasted, then I don't think there was really much use for him to be just kind of standing there. At that point, he needed to just take the swing and see if he could take someone with him. But of course, he does end up going down. Steel trying to get aggressive is going to be spotted by Zelzis, who's waiting up close to the smoke. Gets himself a free upgrade to the AUG. This is LAZARUS right now, making this look easy as they commit towards B. Maybe, though, we will see Ghost hold it down because Freak and Kusta take one each. But Freak pinned in oranges eventually gets dropped. And now it's all on Wardell. Again, though, I don't know if he wants to go for this. A save this time is almost necessary. In the previous round, it was kind of okay. We may as well save just to keep the bit of extra money. This time, it needs to be carried over. Wardell could maybe drop a weapon off the back of that. Freak could buy for himself. Steel, I think, would be a bit low on money. So I feel like no matter what Ghost, they're probably looking at that eco coming true, rather. Wardell, he should actually be able to save the up at the very least. I mean, that's a positive. Steel with 3,500, Freak with 51. I mean, Wardell can actually drop 2 rifles, so they probably will buy here. Yeah. Gets, oh no, okay, he's actually just going to go for another op. So they want the double op setup. Freak can then get a rifle. Neptune and Steel going to be on weaker weapons. Steel should at least get some decent utility behind maybe an SMG or a pistol. But if this force buy doesn't work out for them, then Lazarus are looking at map point. So that is the issue. As of course the pause coming through is a tactical from Ghost. Discussing what they need to actually do now in this round with the weaker investment, how exactly they want to spread out the money. You can see a Deagle and a CZ, a good amount of utility being the main thing that I do look at for Ghost here to actually give them a good opportunity in the round. And of course, if you're speaking about opportunities, you have to speak about the op, as it does sound pretty similar. The double op setup from Wardell and Koosted, 2 very, very capable oppers. That's a scary setup for sure. Let's see if it's going to work out for them. As I said, if it doesn't, then Lazarus likely looking at taking 15. At that point, then Ghost will be looking to just try and fight for overtime. So it looks like they may want to actually try and get aggressive on Banana. Bit of utility being thrown down early on actually connected some pretty good damage onto both Sabrosa and Dapper. So, I mean, it's certainly of good assistance, especially for the AUG now being the ability to one-shot towards the head, as we just seen. Also, the Deagle being a little bit easier to get the body shot, especially on towards Dapper, who's still left on 39 HP. The CZ also a bit easier against the weakened up players, as is Zelzis now, because he's been tagged down by the op. Luckily enough, really able to actually survive right there, but this is not looking good for Lazarus right now. If they lose this one, they're left with very little money in the reserve. I believe they should still have a decent amount of loss bonus. Unfortunately, on the ESEA servers, which this qualifier is ran on, we don't have the round stats, as you can see right there, and unfortunately it also doesn't show the loss bonus, so I'm not sure exactly what they're on at this point because I have lost track. It can be a little bit confusing, but here we go. 1 trade from Infinite, all that's been found so far for that T side. Quickly being cleared up by the CTs. It was Freak with a couple of frags. And Neptune, having picked up the op off the body of Wardell, is able to chime in with one of his own, and that leaves it all on Swag. A very, very capable player, but I feel like a 1v3 maybe just a little bit too much to ask of him in this position. And indeed it is, as Neptune on the op finishes it off. 14-13, Ghost go ahead and manage to actually win out that force buy, and now it's Lazarus who are left in a very difficult position. Do they force the eco and play for overtime? It looks like the buy is going to come true, but if it doesn't work out, they're left on an even weaker investment to try and keep themselves alive in this map. Oh god. We've got a meme growing in the chat. Hello, what was the half switch score? It was 8-7 in favor of Ghost, if I remember correctly. But yeah, as I said, Lazarus even fully invested into this round. It gives them 1 AK, a UMP and a Mach 10, Deagle and a Tech 9. A positive again being that they have at least a decent amount of utility. But let's see how it goes. Steel could be in trouble. The Mag 7 is certainly not the most ideal weapon against a horde of players. Gets overwhelmed after only being able to find one, unfortunately. It's Celsius who trades it back, so a 4v4. Not the worst of starts for Lazarus. They probably will be happy with just that 1-for-1 trade with a bit of control being taken. Freakicide pushing forward, though. Zelzis was ready for it. Wardell maybe the next victim if he keeps going, but he actually manages to catch Zelzis off guard, rather, and gets revenge for his fallen teammate. It's Kusta on that other AWP now over towards Banana. That's ready to hold it down. Gets the info at the very least as he drops back and drops the smoke to try and actually delay this push from coming through. And it does actually kind of segregate it, rather. It allows for him to force that 1v1 versus Dapper. It slows down the push from Infinite and also Swag. But eventually the trades, they just continue to come in. It's all on Swag now again. This time a little bit more winnable, though. It's the 1 versus 1 after he drops Wardell. Neptune rotating in. The bomb, of course, actually yet to go down. Swag, he doesn't want to plant that yet. He's trying to force the issue. You can see him creeping forward into construction with the op. We're seeing if he could maybe catch Neptune as he rotated in through the spawn, but it didn't happen. Issue is now the time's getting quite low. By the time Swag goes to put that bomb down, he's going to have to stick it, of course. So it gives a bit of an opportunity for Neptune then to try and close in the distance, I was going to say. But he chills back in spawn for now, and I believe was actually spotted by that shoulder peak. So Swag should now have the info. Neptune does at least have a smoke and a couple of flashes to work with alongside that defuse kiss, so maybe able to use the smoke to try and close in the distance, but he just goes for the peak. Spots out Swag for sure now in that back corner, does some good damage, but he ends up getting blinded and slowed down for a moment. The bomb is indeed ticking away, but as I said, has the defuse kit in play at the very least, but he needs to go quickly now, getting closer and closer to detonation at this point. Swag is just holding the angle, and he shuts it down. Again, it's traded back. Lazarus with the force buy come through successfully, and again equalize the scoreline as it's another tactical pause. This is a crazy game so far. Whenever it seems like one team should really be just taking the victory, I get completely shut up. And Ghost now, I mean, Neptune only on $1,500 at the moment. They only got $1,400, I believe, for losing that round. So even if they do take the eco here and try and play for overtime, it won't be the greatest of buys. They'll still be weaker on a couple of players. So it looks like they're just buying straight in. Freak should be able to get a rifle if he wanted with body armor. Decides against it. Instead, takes a little bit of a sacrifice in order to get that MP9 out. In order to get that utility out, rather. He does bring the MP9 into play. Couple of CZs, then the AUG and a Scout. So let's see what can be done. Can Ghost manage to return with a force buy of their own yet again? These past few rounds have been extremely back and forth, and I mean that's a solid enough start. Sabros, they dropped to 58, Dapper down to 87. Again, you may not think a lot with Dapper being tagged down, but it still makes it a little bit easier for those weaker weapons and negates the effects of the helmet, as we do end up seeing a 1-for-1 trade towards Boiler. There was a nice little return. They had the stack of two players pushed in. Normally you see them kind of on top of each other's heads, but they did kind of line up instead, which could have been quite dangerous, but of course did at least give them the trade. Lens rabbits, you're not allowed. You have to wait until the game ends. Anyone who doesn't speak Irish isn't going to get that. But yeah, right now going forward, Steal up close. His position actually not being checked immediately, which is a little bit surprising. It's a very common spot. Sabrosa gets the second frag as he just swings around and through the smoke takes Wardell out of midair. With that now the bomb going down, Lazarus, it looks like they may be able to actually go ahead and convert on that previous force buy to bring themselves up to map point. It's already Freakazoid and Kusta backing away to give themselves at least something to carry on into this potentially final round of the game. Well, of this map, rather, not the game in general, is of only this first map in the best of three. Nuke coming up next, and then if needed, if I remember correctly, it would be Train as the decider, and I am indeed correct. I always doubt my memory because I'm pretty stupid, not gonna lie. I'm a little stupid, as that's close to something that Alex Jones said. Not quite. I can't say that on stream. Yeah, 15-14. As I said, Lazarus, they done it. They converted. They finally put a stop to the back and forth battle that has been this game so far. Will they be able to go ahead and finish it off? Again, this is the map choice of Lazarus, so it's been a little bit of a struggle, but I think they'd be able to breathe a little sigh of relief if they do end up picking it up, because as I said, Nuke certainly could be a little bit of a struggle for them. I do think that going on to Train, though, we would see a pretty interesting match between these two. I think we'd see a very close one. I don't think Nuke's going to be super one-sided, but I do expect it to go in favor of Ghost. Yeah, as I said, if Ghost weren't able to make that previous force buy work, then they're put onto a similar investment, if not even weaker in this round, which is the case. You can see mostly SMGs, a Mag 7 again for Steel. He's been loving that weapon. I mean, it's worked out okay for him. It's more so just being one-for-one trades pretty consistently, which is not too great when you're on that CT side, but he's able to find the opening and the second on the Infinite. What is this from Steel? They cannot manage to overcome the Mag 7. 3 shots, 3 frags. Can he get any more? There's 2 more to go. Can he get the ace? That is the question. Maybe just 1 mag needed. Swag's already low with only 5 HP. Dapper even being tagged up now by Steel on that bomb site, I believe, who eventually has been dealt with. But overtime looking pretty much confirmed at this point. Kusta just jumps in, flying MP9, and goes ahead and takes that 15th round in favor of Ghost. What a hold from Steel right there. We were just talking about the Mag 7. It was the caster's curse for Lazarus right there. It's overtime, boys. Map number 1, we've already got an overtime in this upper bracket final. I shouldn't have said anything, but I'm sorry if you were a Lazarus fan, because I just jinxed it by saying that it's been mostly one and dones for Steel with that Mag 7, because yeah, that was a lot more than a one and done. Hopefully it won't be too long before we get back into the action. I'm sure after a full 30 rounds, these guys probably do want a quick toilet break, maybe a quick drink, etc. And I think I'm probably actually going to grab myself some water as well. So I'm gonna be quiet. I'm going to shut up for a few seconds while I quickly get a drink, while we do have the opportunity to not miss any action. I mean, one thing as well was that position that Steel was playing, it's not like it's the first time he had sat there. It's just with the Mag 7, it worked out even better for him than it had with the AUG previously. Being a little bit too quick on the shots. Of course, that Molotov as well that was down certainly did assist quite a lot. Why aren't they buying? They weren't buying because this is still the warm-up. I just saw someone say that in the chat. On ESEA, when you're heading on over into the overtime, everyone does have to ready up once again, so... As I said, everyone probably just taking a quick break. Bathroom, drinks, all that sort of stuff. Your voice makes me want to watch some Conor McGregor and pound some proper 12. Fair enough. I don't think my accent's quite as strong as Conor McGregor's is. Go away, Dan. I think you're too young to be watching this game. Yeah, this is only map 1, guys. This is going to be a long night. An extremely long night, I would presume. This is only the second best of 3 right now. We still have another one to go afterwards. It's currently just after midnight. 12:20 right now. And this could, I could certainly see this being a 3-map series, as I said before. The only thing is now I'm a little bit worried for Lazarus, because I feel like once the economy's rolling for Ghost, coming into the full gun rounds, they do seem to have been a little bit stronger, at least on the CT side. When it was flipped over, when Lazarus was on their CT side, I would say it was probably the reverse, considering we did see Ghost actually start off 5-1, if I remember correctly, and then struggle a little bit to actually get much more. They ended up bringing it out to 8 in the end, so let's see. Coming into the overtime now, everyone is readied up. We're getting back into the action. Lazarus just going for rifles over on the T side, no op in play, at least not for Lazarus. As I said, on the other hand, Ghost, they love that double op setup, so they're going to bring it out once again. It's been effective, so why not? What's a bathroom? Yeah, I probably should have said bathroom. Or, I don't know. That's just how I pronounce it, man. Don't insult my Irish accent. But here we go. Oh, this is going to be dangerous for Steel. Trying to play up close to the smoke. Gets flashed, but still gets a frag from it. Will, of course, be traded back. And then Wardell trying to give him some help. Getting aggressive up through short. Ends up falling victim to Infinite as well. A 2-for-1 trade being effective for Lazarus as they take control of that bomb site. The bomb goes down. And Freakazoid, Neptune, and Q started the 3 that remain to try and save this round right now for Ghost. It looks like Lazarus may be able to pick up that opening round rather of overtime. And Infinite, he can probably even put a stop to this before they even make their way up through mid. If Kusta keeps going forward, then he's probably just going to get dropped. I think the footsteps of Freak should be heard in a second. Maybe not, though. Oh, I think Infinite's going to go down. Yeah, a free frag for Freakazoid, but I don't think it's really going to give them too much more. The bomb already ticking away, of course. Made a bit of alliteration right there with the free frag for Freakazoid. Lots of Fs. It's always just pleasant to say, you know? It's nice. You know what's not pleasant for Ghost right now? The fact that they have, of course, lost this opening round in the overtime. Lazarus already picking up one on the T side. God damn it. Tez has actually started a meme now. Everyone's spamming that I'm from Dublin, different places. Dublin, North Korea. If I was from Dublin, North Korea, you probably wouldn't be hearing from me right now. Unless I got that sick VPN, you know? Ooh. Decent nade on the Freakazoid. That's always the risk of standing on this corner, of course. It is a position where you want to be to try and help your teammate, especially if they're aggressive up towards sandbags or on the corner up at the wall. But as I said, a little bit dangerous. The Molotovs and nades can be thrown in quite easily, and they do tend to do a lot of damage. But it was at least returned in this round. I mean, Zelzis also dropped down to 38 HP. He actually even brought an op over into this round, of course, into the opening. They did stick with the guns as they were going a little bit quicker. But not this time around. He was able to actually retrieve that in that previous round off of Wardell, I believe. Oh, okay, just been gifted the shoulder of that player that I was just talking about. Wardell goes down to his own AWP, adding a bit of insult to injury, of course. Freakazoid will be able to return one as he catches Dapper. It was a bit of an iffy spray, but he got it in the end. So at this point, I mean, it looks like they want to commit to A, but of course the bomb is still all the way back on ramp. So, I mean, is that the goal at the moment? If they wanted, they could still bring it back up through Banana, although not having much control. And of course, realizing that there was a player peeking it a few moments ago, I don't think that's going to be what they aim for. Instead, we do see a player dropping out into the pit. Infinite gets one before being returned on. But the bomb actually looking tempted to put Banana. You can see it in the hands of Swag. He was beginning to run up for a couple of moments. Den does get told that, of course, the A-bomb site itself is clear, but Neptune is in a great position. If he can put a stop to this bomb carrier, then maybe he could win the round here and now. The issue is Swag takes it the correct way. He's covered off by the offer from the pit, but he actually will get dropped. And Freakazoid ends up taking down Zelzis. Subrosa just has to stick the bomb plant now, and Neptune with that closes in the distance. An easy kill being found and an easy round for Ghost Gaming as they return it and again equalize that scoreline at 16-16. Dublin Bolly at the lead. Yeah. Also, I can't pronounce Irish either. I can't pronounce anything really. That's my issue. You know, for a caster, I suck at pronunciation. Good return, though. Lazarus, if they can find a second round here on the T side, I think they'll be in a pretty good position. Ghost, they definitely will be looking for that second, otherwise I think they could struggle a little bit. Let's see. Nade going towards Banana. I was going to say that'll probably do some pretty good damage. Issue is, the damage is on towards Kusta. I mean, it's not too substantial. 87. Up against the AK is not the biggest of deals, but who knows? Maybe if he wasn't tagged up, that wallbang wouldn't have taken him down. Sadly, we don't know if other realities exist, so we can't find out, but there we go. A trade at least does come back over towards the apartment. Is Rosa just going to walk through the smoke? I don't even know. It's just crazy CS. Casting North American CS is a different experience. Rosa actually able to creep all the way through the smoke in towards CT spawn. Neptune has no idea, ends up going down. And that leaves Freakazoid now alone on B. I mean, he's had a few rounds, he's had some nice holds on this bomb site. Can he do it once again is the question. He gets the first headshot on Dapper, but he's pinned in oranges. It's a phrase that I've used quite a lot because it's been the case time and time again. It's a position that he's been loving to play, but it hasn't been as effective as he would hope for. Lazarus end up cleaning up the end of that round, taking themselves a lead as they head over to the CT side. And I would say putting themselves in a favorable position to try and close it out here on Inferno. Caster is fading away. Why so quiet? Apologies, my mic might have slightly moved. I hope this is better. Yeah, Ghost, I mean, They did have a decent T-side in regulation again. They did actually manage to pull off 8 rounds, but that was off the back of taking a 5-1 lead at one point. So I don't know. I'm a little bit worried. Once the guns actually came out into the hands of Lazarus, they were pretty solid over here on the CT side. So I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. Are we gonna see the ops, etc., being pulled out for Lazarus? We probably will onto Zelzas at the very least, but are we going to see the double op setup, which was, of course, something that Ghost were using over and over again on that CT side very effectively? And indeed we will. Dapper pulls out the secondary one. I think we did see them pick it up a little bit in regulation. Of course, the magical number right now for both of these sides is 19. The issue for Ghost is that if they lose one more round, they can't take the victory in this first overtime. Then they'll be just looking to try and send it into a second overtime. So they need to pick up all 3 T rounds. That's the issue. If they want to take the victory right now, that is their goal. They can't let one go. Let's see if that's going to be possible from them. On the other hand, Lazarus, of course, only need to take 2 of the 3 to actually confirm themselves the victory. Here we go. Steel pushed through. That smoke a little bit deeper than I think Dapper was expecting. Give Steel the room to work with. He's able to quickly find a headshot. Sabrosa playing around that smoke on Arch as well has been spotted and eventually taken down by Steel. Auto Director again taking us away from that position, but it does at least catch this frag from Freaka's side. Swag trying to make a play happen. Knowing they had lost control of Long, he needed to try and push forward so he wouldn't be exposed. But Ghost were set up perfectly. This is a convincing gun round, a convincing round in general, rather, of course, now that they have the guns again on this T side. That was really their issue back on the in the regulation when they did kind of begin to let that massive lead slip away. It was once their economy had broken, so this is a convincing one. All 5 players seemingly going to survive. Zelzas just left all alone trying to save the op over on B. As again, the rounds are just being traded back and forth. 17-17 is going to be what you see at the top of your screen. Thank you, Sandy, for appreciating my casting. Zelzas, he's going to go down eventually. Actually did get a second frag right there. A little bit of a wall bang, I think, coming through, but issue is damage at that point is not at this point rather is not a big deal or really any sort of impact at all, because 16k 3 rounds and a half, unless you're buying 5 ops, you're probably not going to be wasting that 16k before you come to that final round, and even then it would be a pretty tough task to do. So let's see, Lazarus going back onto the buy as you would expect. Zelzas pulls out the op again. This time Dapper decides against it. They're going to be playing the 4 Augs instead. So we do see Ghost starting it off pretty passively. They're just holding 3 players towards the bottom of Banana, rather, in towards the ramp. Maybe expecting Lazarus to try and get aggressive. I mean, on their CT side, they did do so pretty consistently. They liked putting 3 players at B early on so that they could take that Banana control and then leave maybe Zelzas, or I believe at a lot of points Dapper may have been left alone. Yeah, Zelzas, he is over towards B alone either way, but I mean, not really getting too much info. They didn't have that aggressive stance on Banana to actually be able to find that out early on, so even though he is alone right now, they've already got the full control of Banana. They've pushed up, he's just chilling in towards the coffins. Or the missiles, I believe they are now, of course. But yeah, 50 seconds remain, and Ghost will have to come to a decision pretty soon about where they want to take this. And I mean, if they wanted, they could try and split in towards B, because currently there's no one watching Long. I mean, they're probably not completely aware of that. If they wanted, though, Neptune could potentially creep out into Arch and try and wrap around behind B. But the bomb, of course, being taken back up through mid means that's probably not going to be the case. The A-bomb site more likely to be the actual target of Ghost in this push. The bomb being dropped back toward L so that the rifles can see if they can lead the way and open it up. It is going to be Sabrosa on that long corner. A couple of players playing from the pit right now. And Sabrosa trying to push over to Arch to get a new position. Ends up getting quickly dropped. To put so much pressure onto the shoulders of Swag and Infinite. Are they going to be able to hold it down so far? The answer is yes. Bakusta and Wardell, they return it swiftly. One-man advantage now in the 3-on-2, but more importantly, the bomb going down for Ghost with that advantage already being in their favor. It's Zelzas and Dapper. Make that just Zelzas that remains. And as he comes in from behind on second mid, I don't know if he has much opportunity. That op certainly could just be saved at this point so that they can try and pull it into a second overtime. Ghost right now looking like they may just about be able to actually take the victory here on Inferno unless we see Lazarus send it into another overtime. Oh god, I've become a meme, right? From what I can see, every time I look at the chat, there's just meme spams. Dublin, Iceland. I mean, that one's pretty close. That's only one letter off. That could just be a typo. 18-17. Ghost. They're doing it right now. Can they confirm the victory here on map number 1 with just another round? Having a look at the scoreboard as well, you can see how everyone for Ghost is contributing right now. A frag disparity between the top and bottom fragger of just 4. Steel up there with 25, 21 dead tied for Neptune and Wardell, 23 tied for Freakazoid and Kuste. Everyone's doing their job. And I mean, it's pretty similar for Lazarus. I mean, Zelzus is up there by a little bit with 27. The bottom fragger being 18 for both Swag and Dapper. But overall, it's been a very competitive game. But let's see, because of course, Ghost right now, they're looking to try and finish this one out. Zelz is unfortunately not able to connect that shot as he sees Steel wrapping around through Arch. That gives him the chance to quickly open it up on towards Swag, and I believe should have heard the noise of the player coming out through Arch. This is a bit of a crazy round so far. Team damage even been exchanged back and forth, but it's been pulled in favor of Ghost even further. In that pit, it's up to Dapper on already low HP. He's waiting for his teammates to come through on the rotation, which, I mean, could be really effective considering the current positions of them. There's one on long and one coming from behind on the apartments, rather. Dapper eventually being dealt with, but as I said, behind on the apartments, it's Sabrosa quickly dropping Kuste. But the bomb actually being ran back around now towards that B bomb site. I don't think Lazarus have any idea about this. The issue for Freakazoid being he's 20 health. He needs to try and delay as long as possible, potentially, or ideally find a frag before going down. I mean, he'd take both if he could, but probably not going to happen. Is he going to be spotted, though? You see on the bomb site, it is Infinite peeking out. Spotted the back of the heel. I guess you could call it his Achilles heel, because it is what led to his downfall. Wardell, though, going to actually force the issue and take down Infinite. Does he expect Sabrosa to be in pretty much the exact same position? The answer was no. There it is. Second overtime going to be coming true, boys. It's happening. This game is not going to be ending anytime soon. Map number 1, going the extent, and much more. Who picked this map? This is the map choice of Lazarus. Did Neptune kill himself? I'm seeing that being spammed in the chat. I actually didn't notice that. I didn't mean to turn the audio off there, by the way. That was actually an accident. That's a little bit awkward. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Ghost again. How many times have they actually had map point in this game so far and haven't been able to close it out? It's been, I believe they were up 15, was it 15-13 and then they ended up letting 2 go? Or maybe 15-11, I'm not too sure. But either way, Ghost have had a good few opportunities to actually close out this first map and have been struggling with it a little bit. Some advantages have been given away, etc. They've made some mistakes in rounds where they should be pretty much confirmed to actually take them. But I'm hoping we won't be as long this time before we hop into that second overtime. We had a bit of a break as we were heading into the first one. Yeah, it looks like, usually when we see that in the bottom left, that means it's about to go back live again. And there you go. Alert, the game will restart in 1 second. There's a few restarts, of course, since it is played through the ESL client. We're getting back into it now. Again, it's a fresh start for both of these sides. They're back on the 16k. The new magic number being 22, not 21, as most people would hope for. If it's 21-21, that means another overtime would be needed. And please, Lord, I'm not even religious, but please, Lord, at this point, I cannot deal with more overtimes because we still have potentially 2 more maps and then another best of 3 to go. And it's already like 20 to 1 in the morning for me right now, so that would be a very long night indeed. Here we go. Just a single up being brought out this time for Lazarus. Accidentally hit off the G key. That does actually remove the UI. A little bit unfortunate, but it's straight back, boys. No worries. As Ghost looking to just try and get this banana control early on. Again, they have actually entrusted a bit of a more passive setup. I was going to say just 1 player to hold down this B-bomb site, but it wasn't the case. Judging by the radar, it looked like it, but of course it was 2 players directly in the same position. A little bit of a boost coming in over that wall. Unfortunately, it's not too effective. Sabrosa ends up losing his head in the process. A bit of damage put in towards Steel, but he's just going to lead the way. And with a flash coming through, he drops Infinite quickly, eventually falls, but Kusta's there to go ahead and take down Swag in return, meaning a 4-on-2 going to be in play as the bomb goes down. Ghost, they should be picking up this opening round here in the second overtime. Unless Zelzas and Dapper can pull off a little bit of a miracle with a 2v4 retake on B. I mean, that's a tough task to ask of them. Buckle up, Dean. Yeah, I feel like I do have to buckle up. I'm actually expecting this to go a lot more overtimes. Nah, not really. I don't know. I feel like there's been so many opportunities for Ghost to close it out that they should eventually just be able to find that one. They do definitely look like the better team when it comes to the gun rounds. So, of course, in overtime, that should be favoring them. But, I don't know. So far, Lazarus, whenever it seems like they're down and out, they manage to fight back into it, which is certainly something to be admired. But, I mean, they need to step it up if they want to try and actually take the victory here again, with this being their map choice specifically. With Nuke coming up next, the map that we'd expect Ghost to have, I guess, an easy enough time on. Again, I said I'd expect Nuke to be pretty close, but I would expect Ghost to take the victory. So if it does go as I'm presuming, then we do need to see Lazarus picking up this first map. And then if it goes on to Train again, I said before, that would be a very exciting one between these two teams. It's a very slow round coming through from Ghost right now. They haven't even looked to try and get any banana control or really any control towards the apartments in the beginning. They were just holding, expecting maybe to push to come through from Lazarus. And you can see right now, Zelzas, he has been again entrusted alone over towards B. We've seen this happen quite a lot in the regulation and even in the previous OT. And really the goal of that is to ideally try and find one frag before he falls back off, which he wasn't successful in, but it at least does get the info and then allows him to rotate Sabrosa over. He was initially there over towards A so that he would be ready to bolster up the defense, but it's towards B where he's needed. Of course, Zeltz is going to get overwhelmed after only one frag, and Sabrosa peeking in towards construction could also be in a little bit of trouble. It looked like Ghost did want to try and fight it together. They decided against it for a couple of seconds, as Kusta, even after getting dinked down, still wins that fight in towards construction over Sabrosa. And man advantage now being found. Ghost are looking to try and bring it up to 20 right now. They want to increase this lead even further. And this is a necessary retake right now for Lazarus. They need this one, in my opinion. If they end up letting 2 rounds go already to Ghost on the T side, it's going to be a tough comeback. And it's looking like it is going to be Ghost claiming yet another round. It's all on Swag. He gets a quick double kill, takes down Wardell. Do not let this one fall away. The problem is the time is so low. And Kusta's looking for the ace, which you will find. I mean, Swag done his best, but there just wasn't really anything that could actually be done at that point. Even though he got the 3 frags, the bomb was just ticking too quickly. Mickey Mouse told me that at 3 AM he will FaceTime you. What the hell? Do I get paid on an hourly basis or a per game basis? Hourly basis. That's also another thing that depends on who you're working for. But with ESL, it's hourly pay. So I mean, that's a positive if it keeps going overtimes. But I mean, one of these teams certainly looking to try and close it out. It would be an exhausting matchup. This is again a reminder for these two guys, for these two teams. Right, this is only the first map of this best of 3, and the loser of this actually goes on to play another matchup tonight as well in the lower bracket final, I believe. So I mean, it could be a long night for one of these teams. But if Ghost can find this 3rd round right now and take it up 21-18, then they at least confirm another overtime. That'll put them in a position where they only need to pick up 1 round on the CT side to actually take the victory. So it's looking pretty good for them. Let's see if they're actually going to be able to find it, though. It is already Ghost finding some good mid control. Able to actually wrap around on long as well. I believe that's Steel, who's currently actually working in through the arch. A bit dangerous because there is a couple players actually in that CT spawn. And Zelz is pushing down on Banana with the up. I mean, probably not the best weapon to be playing up close with on that position. Let's see what's going to happen. Actually trying to creep in through the arch right now. Sabrosa gets Neptune. As I said, there was a couple of players though in the spawn. Steel was able to drop that Initial one on Infinite, and eventually finds Sabrosa trying to peek out to get the trade. Even with AHP, rather, he's just a little bit too quick on the shot right there. Maybe another chance. He spots the shoulder of Swag in the pit. And with that now, they know the position of at least one of these A players. He's actually been able to kind of transition himself. How have they not taken down Steel? I'm sorry, but I just don't understand how on AHP he's allowed to continue fragging. That player on the bomb site right there definitely should have had the trade quite easily. Instead, Ghost now, a flawless T-side in this overtime, likely to come true unless Zelzas can pull off a miraculous 1v4. And although he gets the first frag, it costs him a lot of his HP. He's brought down to 22. And there it is, finished off by Kusta, 21-18. One more round for Ghost is all they need. Lazarus, they need a flawless T-side just to take it into an OT number 3. Double time at night though. Nah man, I wish. I'm freelance, so it doesn't work like that. I see Earl Grey says he doesn't know who to cheer for. I don't know who to cheer for either, but I feel like if you want to go with the winner's side, you'd probably go with Ghost right now because it looks like they are going to take this map. And if they do, as I said, I worry for Lazarus on Nuke. Let's stand up for a moment, boys. My ass is going a little bit dead on this chair. Not gonna lie. Well, we have a little bit of a break here between the halves. And here we go. Getting into the second half of overtime number 2. One more round for Ghost if they want to close it out here on Inferno. It's been a long road. They started it off well. If we do recall all the way back to that initial start off where they went up 5-1, if I remember correctly, as I said before. But yeah, since then it seems like it's been a couple of games of CS. We've played quite a few rounds now, as we are going to be indeed heading on to round number 40, I believe this is. So, is this going to be the final one, or can Lazarus fight back into this and potentially bring it into another overtime? As I said, they need 3 rounds on the T side. I mean, it's not impossible. We've just seen it from Ghost. But can Lazarus do the same? It's not going to be an easy task. Looking to try and get control over towards Banana. Bit of a failed Molotov by Dapper, unfortunately. Not going to be going towards the corner to actually force Kusta back off. And of course, right now, there's 3 players over towards Banana early on for Ghost. This is a pretty common setup, rather, if you want to try and get that Banana control. But they didn't even decide to push off it, so instead they're just kind of chilling back, and it does kind of catch Lazarus off guard. It catches Sabrosa and Swag off guard initially as Kusta finds a couple frags on the op. He's actually just going to run through the smoke and drop Dapper, and in the meantime actually take that bomb as well under their control, as it's now all left onto Infinite. This looks like the end of Inferno, guys. I don't really give Infinite really too much hope in pulling off a 1 versus 5. I mean, I'm sure he's a decent player, but that's probably a little bit too much to ask of him. May get this kill on Steel, though, who isn't expecting the peak, of course, to come true, but Wardell with the trade, 22-18.